Our story today is called The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. Now, we've heard of Eric Carle before because he is the author of The Hungry Caterpillar, our book of the week last week. Remember, the author is the person who writes the book. So Eric Carle wrote The Hungry Caterpillar and The Tiny Seed. Let's see what it's about. The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? Where do you think these seeds are going? Blowing away in the autumn. One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Oh dear, that seed is burnt. Look, it went too high, and the sun has burnt it. But the tiny seed is still going. There he is, tiny seed. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Now I wonder why this seed couldn't grow. Why do you think that this seed couldn't grow? That's right, it's too cold. It's landed in the ice and snow. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. Now this seed that's fallen into the water can't grow. Why do you think? Have a little think. We'll come back to that question. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Oh, I hope the tiny seed makes it. Finally, the wind stops, and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. Phew, that's a good job, isn't it? It's still going, that tiny seed. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they're going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch, but the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. I wonder what's going to happen next. Now it is spring. We're in spring now, aren't we? After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by. The sun shines, rain falls, the seeds grow so round and full they start to burst open a little. Wow! What's going to happen? Now they are not seeds anymore, they are plants. First they send roots down into the earth, then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up towards the sun and air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants, and that little plant dies. That poor little plant wasn't getting enough sunlight or rainwater, was it? That's that one, look, because this big weed is in his way. But these ones are all right. And where's our little seed? There he is in the middle. He's growing. His roots are growing. He's getting rainwater and sunlight. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun and springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along and, oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. Remember, when we go into the forest, we have to be really careful that we don't step on all of our new plants growing. This person did accidentally break one of these plants. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbour grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now a flower. What's going to happen to this little seed? Do you think he'll get enough sunlight and water? But what is happening? First there are footsteps, then a shadow looms over them, then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. Oh dear, poor flower, that can't grow anymore, can it? It's being picked. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. Look at that. It's so tall. From the tiny seed has come a great big giant flower. All summer long the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. It is very big, isn't it? Now it is autumn again. The days grow shorter. The nights grow cooler. And the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind. But the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pod opens. Look at all of the seeds inside this flower. They're all flying away. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. The end. And what do you think is going to happen to all of these little seeds that are blowing away? I think they're going to find a lovely place to start growing and make more flowers, and that is the life cycle of a tiny seed. Fantastic.